Hey everyone, welcome back to AFTV and welcome back to the Tactical Insight Show. I've got a massive grin on my face still because Arsenal pulled off... And also, was it a miraculous comeback? Look, I thought we deserved it. I thought with the balance of play, we played well and deserved the win. But considering the fact that Wolves, they don't tend to lose games or let's say drop all points when they go a goal ahead. Arsenal tend not to turn around games when they're 1-0 down at half-time. But it all happened. And with a 96th minute winner, we're going to absolutely indulge in it here on this show. And as you can see, it is just me, no Graham today. Yeah, we miss him lots. He'll be back for the next show, no doubt. So let's go straight into it. There's a lot to talk about, from Arteta's changes to Pepe's impact to the way we press to the build-up, Odegaard's importance. There's a lot. I'm going to go flying straight into it, quite literally, too fit to tackle into all this, because there's a lot to talk about. Let's start immediately with the match stats. Where better to start? Because 26 shots for Arsenal, 5 on target, with 56% of the possession. We outscored, I don't know if that's the way I'd say it. We bettered their numbers significantly for shots on target. We had more of the ball. I like this stat as well. 126 passes in the attacking third for Arsenal to Wolves' 39. You could see that we were the side looking to probe their goal, looking to make things happen far more than they were. Now, look, I'm not trying to take anything. I'm not trying to take too much away from Wolves. I thought they had moments in the game where they looked after the ball nicely and defended well. But I did feel Arsenal were in the ascendancy for most of pretty much all that game, to be honest. And actually, we were slightly unlucky that... I think we were unlucky that the manner of the game and how it went with the 81st minute goal, the 96th minute winner, it made it look like Arsenal were really huffing and puffing, and they were. But I thought they were deservedly the winners, and the XG stat there kind of shows you 2.51 XG to their 1.11. That is one of the highest XGs conceded or faced for Wolves all season. I should take you to this next graphic. Wolves XG faced versus Arsenal's rivals. Now, away at Arsenal, they face an XG of 2.51. At home to Liverpool, 2.42. Spurs away, 1.87 from Spurs. 0.84 really low by Man United at Old Trafford, and when Chelsea visited Molineux, 0.79. I think Man City hit an XG of 3, just 3.00, when they faced Wolves at the Etihad. So I think that is the only higher XG that they have. I've phrased that terribly. That is the highest XG Wolves have faced all season, and Arsenal are second to that. So look, it tells you that Arsenal cause them problems. A team that are very resolute at the back, haven't conceded a lot of goals, play a back three, which often becomes a back five, with two very, good ball players in midfield with Moutinho and Neves, but they're gritty as well. They protect the defence well, and Arsenal create a lot of chances, create a lot of openings. And when I say chances, it was more the positions we got ourselves into, but didn't quite just get that last pass right or get that moment, show that moment of quality until very late in the game, as we know. So those are the match stats and the XG that Wolves face. I think just interesting to look at how the problems we gave them compared to our rivals. But it wasn't just in the chances we were fashioning. A lot of the chances that were coming our way were down to our pressing. And of course, I'm going to refer you to the tactical pad. Now, talking about pressing without Graham, he loves to talk about how Arsenal press. So hopefully, if you're watching this, Graham, you'll agree with what I've put forward here. I don't really want to talk so much about where Arsenal went man for man and who was marking who. I want to talk more about the flexibility of Arsenal's press. And the best way I can illustrate it is by almost showing moments or trying to illustrate moments I regularly saw from Arsenal. Sometimes a press can look dangerous, not dangerous. It can look messy and desperate. Desperate's the word I'm looking for, not dangerous. But I think Arsenal, there was a fluidity to our press. Let me illustrate it here. So I've tried to show what I think it would look like with Cody on the ball. And we know that the centre-backs obviously split. They build in a back five. And he's going to go wide to Kilman here. And at this point, Lacazette, there's three defenders to mark. Who does he pick up? Well, I think he did well to kind of almost track between the three of them. And in this situation here, Cody's given out to Kilman and Lacazette is immediately charging towards him. Now, Wolves, who can go long to Jimenez, will sometimes try and play out the back. They're good enough to do it. They've got the players, they've got the craft in midfield. And I'm just illustrating a situation to show here the fluidity from Arsenal. Kilman gives it into Semedo. Lacazette is still following the press, still chasing. It's going to come into Neves. But at this point, Lacazette's come all the way to the left. Martinelli will come inside to cover Neves. And Odegaard will fill the space. So here we go. Martinelli comes in and Odegaard goes to Cody. So at this point, they're still trying to keep the ball. They're still trying to build out. But I saw this often. As I said, I've not recreated a moment here that we actually saw per se in the game. It was just a kind of way of me illustrating a regular theme in our press. Cody then, let's say he goes back to Sarr so that they can go long. And again, Martinelli's come to cover because Lacazette's come wide. Odegaard's filled in his space to press up the pitch. Often we saw Xhaka even running beyond Lacazette, beyond Martinelli to go and join Odegaard in the press. And then we'd sometimes see here the switch ball out. If it was going out to Aït-Nouri, Cedric would come all the way across to get the ball, and White's coming across. Gabriel. I mean, there are often times I saw Gabriel defending towards the right side of the pitch because of how much we were just almost, is a pendulum the word? It's almost like, it's a swing. You know, as Cedric went up and the higher he went, White would have to come across and Gabriel Tierney would have to be very, very strict. I think strict is the word, very focused to come across and cover. And it was good to see from Arsenal. They were chasing Wolves. And when they were doing that, and as you can see here, you sort of get yourselves into this position. As they were doing that, it meant when we did win the ball, Arsenal were able to... Oh, that's the wrong... Forgive me for that. Let's go here. Arsenal were able to get into these spaces when they did win the ball a lot better because they only had a four-man midfield, because they were trying to hold the width with the wing-backs. Arsenal were able to then attack those positions a bit better, get Saka one-on-one with Saïs a few times in the first half. And as I said, I don't think Arsenal's first half was as bad as perhaps we were feeling at half-time, knowing that it was a mistake that gave them the goal, knowing that we'd got into good areas but we were frustrating. I think Arsenal were doing well to create openings. Let's then have a little look at a tactical switch, though, that came in the second half of the game. Now, we know Arteta was playing with the 4-3-3, Odegaard drifting to the right, Xhaka playing to the left. I thought the two of them had very good games, by the way, as did Partey. We move everyone into the positions they typically take up, and we give Ben White the ball. So this is how it looked. We saw a tactical switch throughout, I think it was around the 70th minute. Some people said it was a little late, but he did it with well enough time for Arsenal to try and ask different problems of Wolves. Nketiah and Pepe come on. So let's make the changes. Cedric and Martinelli come off. Nketiah and Pepe, as you can see them coming on. And then the key thing here is that Nicolas Pepe obviously wasn't playing right back, nor was Nketiah playing left wing. There was a system change from Arteta, and I absolutely loved it. Let's move everyone into position then. We go to a 3-5-2. And what we see here is Nketiah go up front with Lacazette, men around him. We see Pepe and Saka holding the touchline. We've got Odegaard, Partey, Xhaka as the midfield three, White, Gabriel and Tierney building as a back three. Now this allowed Arsenal to do a couple of things. It asked a very different question of Wolves. Their wing-backs who love to get forward, cause problems, were causing us problems. Suddenly they're pinned back. Because what we see as Arsenal advance with the ball is their wing-backs. And do you know what? Let's illustrate it here. What we see is their wing-backs. Semedo came off for Johnny. Aït-Nouri as well. So they're suddenly thinking, we've got one-on-ones with Pepe and Saka. But you add to that there were pockets of space now, which I'll show in yellow, between sort of the centre-back, central midfielder, wing-back, right winger, and again here, where players like Martin Odegaard and Xhaka could find a little bit of joy in. Partey was operating as almost a lone central midfielder. Tierney would help out. Ben White would help out. But what it did was it allowed Arsenal to get Nketiah, Odegaard and Xhaka closer to Lacazette to play off him. And it made sure we were stretching the pitch so that their back five couldn't be too condensed. It was really smart from Arteta. It wasn't just a roll of the dice. It wasn't just a let's try something different because we need something. That's the easiest thing to do. Let's go to Nketiah, Pepe, potential goal scorers. It was actually a case of tweaking the system so that we asked very different questions of them, and we overloaded Moutinho, Neves, and then that back five. it was good. It was very, very good from Arsenal. And as I said, that system change, plus the grit, the work ethic, everything Arsenal was showing, they were well worthy of the goal, which we are going to show right now. Let's have a little look at it. Pepe's equaliser. It's the one I wanted to break down because there's so much to it. There's great movement, there's inventiveness, there's quality. I think Arsenal in this situation showed, or Arteta or Odegaard, they showed why we paid the money for Martin Odegaard. Now, what I'm going to show you here, as I drop my pen, what I'm going to show you here is they're highlighted now. In red are Ait-Nouri and Saiss, who get pulled out of position. Well, not so much pulled, no, sorry, not pulled out of position. They get made redundant because of this brilliant pass by Martin Odegaard, where he's going to hit, I'm going to show it now in red, he's going to hit this space there. When it's a ball over the top, centre-backs can't do it, defenders, they can't do anything about it. The ball's too high, you're not tall enough, you can't do anything about it. The weight of pass was unbelievable, and Nketiah is going to make that run. And what it does is it takes Cody out of position. So as I've said, Ait-Nouri and Saiss, they're in red because they're completely taken out by this pass. Cody has to come across and cover, and that is what leaves the space for Pepe to get in front of the wing-back and centre-back and have a little space to take a touch and find the finish inside the penalty area. Odegaard here finds the ball over the top to Nketiah. He's on his way. Cody has to come all the way across. And as Nketiah is about to put this back, you can see, I've highlighted them in red so you've been able to follow them. Ait-Nouri and Saiss at this point are behind Pepe. He's got the run on them. He's got him beyond. Cut back. Lovely touch. Opens it up. Brilliant finish. Lacazette and Saka in the box there as well. Kilman's running just to get on the goal line to try and protect the goal and get in the way. It's brilliant. It's a really brilliant goal. Odegaard's inventiveness, the way that we pulled apart their defenders because of Nketiah's got to give Nketiah massive credit for the run, but then to make something of it, execute a really nice pass. It wasn't a fluke. He got a really good connection on it, and then Pepe is slightly behind him, opens his body up, takes it on his right to put it onto his left foot. It's absolutely brilliant. And I want to end this by talking about Nicolas Pepe, because this is a player who we signed for 72 million. I thought ended last season brilliantly. Some great cameos now with obviously, you know, the goal and assist against Wolves last night. But then you add to that his appearance against Brentford should have won us a penalty. Arteta said he's come back from AFCON a completely different player. I think we've got to give him tremendous credit, because to come on and have that impact when you're being asked to hug the touchline, when you're being asked to break down a back five and be one of our key players and get to goal at the same time, he did brilliantly, and he's done brilliantly in his cameos of late. What I want to talk about here is a graphic I'm going to bring up, which I think illustrates why Pepe is so important and why we need to try and get something out of him. This is the front three, and by front three I mean the players who play in the front three: Nicolas Pepe, Lacazette, Smith Rowe, Martinelli, Saka. This is their minutes per goal since the 2020-2021 season, which was Mikel Arteta's first full season in charge. Why am I going from there, not the year before when Pepe joined? Well, because Bukayo Saka was playing a left back, so I didn't think that was fair on him. Martinelli had the injury at the end of that season, comes in for a little bit last season. To be fair, didn't play too much, and Smith Rowe wasn't even a regular. So I thought going from the start of last season was the fairest time. Look at this though, in a goal every 195 minutes from Nicolas Pepe. Don't get me wrong, those aren't stellar numbers, but it's the best output, goals per ratio, compared to a front four we're seeing very, very regularly. Now, this is not to discredit the other front four. They're doing brilliant work. They are doing brilliant work. Yeah, listen, we want that goal, that minutes per goal to get better. We absolutely do. But when they're all chipping in, it doesn't really matter too much. Nicolas Pepe, for limited opportunities, limited starts, and you've got to think as well, when you're getting those limited starts, it's not just limited minutes on the pitch, it's also less opportunity to find a rhythm. It's less opportunity to find confidence, to kind of get used to what the manager's asking you to do in very real life match situations. And yet he still boasts the best minute per goal ratio of any of the front five. That's 11 goals since the start of last season in the league. We know as well that he's obviously scores in the cups. He does very well there. He did well in the Europa League last season. And when I saw that ball fall in the box, I was thinking, And it's always a split-second thought, but you're thinking, I hope this is Pepe. Because for all the criticism I've given him, it's not too much, but I've given him criticism. You know, whether it be his first touch, whether it be what he does when he's one-on-one with players. You compare what he does on the right-hand side to Bukayo Saka in one-on-one situations. I don't think he's as productive, but when it's about being near goal, when it's about being in the penalty area, having men behind you, around you, keeping composure, knowing I can take a touch here, I can work myself a better angle and I can finish it off. I think he is the best player in the squad at those clutch moments. That's the word people use. Those moments where it really matters. You need composure. You need to... And we saw, I think we were all feeling frustrated throughout a lot of the game, where we were seeing our players, our very young, exciting players who will only get better, getting into areas where you're thinking, just a better touch or a better open yourself up or a better pass, and we're in there. And in those key decisive moments, Pepe seemed to step up. I remember a goal against Southampton, opens his body up to receive the ball, lovely finish. A goal against Slavia Prague, I think it was. A goal against Man United. A goal that was ruled out in the FA Cup final. What a lovely finish, though. In key moments, he can deliver. So it's on Mikel Arteta, who I think is getting it right now with Pepe, and it's on Pepe as well. It's on the two of them to find a way to get him on the pitch as much as possible. It's going to be hard because Martinelli, Smith Rowe, Saka, they all deserve their place. Hell, Lacazette, for his leadership and his work ethic, deserves his place. But a mention for Nicolas Pepe because that was such a crucial moment. And he made something, not out of nothing. Odegaard and Nketiah all played their part, but it's the finish. That's the hardest bit. And so massive credit to him. I think if a Salah scores that goal, we're seeing it on repeat for days. It's a world-class finish. Nketiah, Pepe's got that ability. Well done to him. And that pretty much, guys, rounds off my solo tactical insight. Is a shorter one today because Graham obviously couldn't be here today, but we look forward to having him back next time. Just to recap what we've covered today: the impressive XG we put up against Wolves, some of those match facts as well. Arsenal's press I thought was super impressive. The Arteta tactical switch to the 3-5-2 to give us a little bit more in central and wide areas was really impressive. And what I didn't say at the time was credit to White, Gabriel and Tierney for covering so well, because that is such a demanding job on a back three when you're trying to allow the players in front to just go play their football. They did brilliantly there. Pepe's goal as well, some wonderful movement from Nketiah, great pass from Odegaard, lovely finish from Pepe, and some numbers there to show you why we need to be getting him in this team. Guys, smash a like on this video if you enjoyed it. Be in the comment section. We'll be there discussing everything I've discussed with you, and let us know, is top four really on? We're in the driving seat now. Can we remain there? Thank you so much, guys. We'll see you very, very soon.